So the race is on to get your student's college application filled out. That deadline is fast approaching. So today we're sharing strategies to make your student's college application stand out. College admissions coach Amanda Groh is here with some advice to parent, for student. The clock is ticking. What sort of timeline are we looking at?
Sure. Applications are going to start coming due from December to January for most of your four-year institutions. Okay. So they're coming up. Now's a really good time to just sort of set your sights on what you're going to be including on that application.
So it's been a while for me, but from my understanding now, most applications are done online. So really, is there an opportunity to stand out?
Absolutely. I mean, you have to decide what to include. It's not wise to include everything, absolutely everything you've ever done. Think about the people that are evaluating these. They want to see things that are unique, that highlight who you are, and you also need to decide how to phrase the things that you do include.
You say there are 3 specific areas where students should really focus their attention in terms of how to stand out.
Well, a lot of times the application will guide you to the specific things they want, but one thing they want to see is community service, that you've done something for the community. One thing they want to see is work experience, and then the other thing is clubs, extracurricular activities, sports, that kind of lumped into one, like school activities.
All right, with those categories in mind, you're going to walk us through some specific ways students can make those areas stand out. The first thing to think about, you say, is creativity. You want people to get creative.
I want people to be creative about what they choose.
Okay.
A lot of times we think that we have to fit ourselves into a specific box, that we need to make ourselves into the ideal college applicant. Colleges actually don't care what you do. They just want to see who you are, and they want it to be authentic.
Hold on, colleges don't care what you do?
They don't really care what specific activities you've chosen to do over the course of your high school experience. Especially if you phrase them right, they want to see unique applicants. So anything about yourself that's unique, I would highlight here. In fact, there's some quirky things that you might want to include.
We've got an example here.
Yeah. So organized the first annual Quidditch tournament for high school students. This could have been something just crazy off the wall that you did with your friends, but if you organized it, if you made it happen, then I think it's something that the college would be interested in knowing about.
So there's the buzzword,
I
organized, organization.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was a finalist in a Lego building tournament. You would include that?
I would include, no, you have to select, you have to look at the things you have, but if you include something unique like that, I think that makes your application stand out so much more than including like a comprehensive list of every traditional high school thing you've done.
All right, students tend to focus on the end result, right? The accomplishment, but you say the process could also make you unique if you demonstrate that hard work.
Absolutely. So, high school activities, some of them are so time consuming and require so much hard work and dedication. So in a college application, you may want to include the number of hours per week that went into something like the dance company.
Calculate it.
Sure, absolutely. I think you can give an average of how long you spent, especially for some sports activities. You really put in a lot of time.
So here's an example of this. I was a member of the dance company. I rehearsed 10 to 15 hours each week. That shows that dedication and that effort.
And you can also highlight like working hard for a specific goal within that club or organization and how you achieved it. I think that really helps you stand out as a hard worker, as somebody who does what it takes to achieve your goals.
You say colleges like students who are problem solvers and self-starters. Why is that so appealing?
I think that colleges want to bring in a person who's going to do something in the world. And if you as a high school student can show that you've already found ways to identify problems and make things happen, if you've served in a leadership position, like a student body officer, identify something specific that you did. You identified a need, you identified something that you could do, like with an example of...
I like that one. I identified a new way to promote school spirit by ordering school scarves. That's a simple thing.
It is simple.
But the way that's phrased is pretty clever. To your point, you're showing that initiative. You're showing that I could take control and make it happen.
And that they oversaw the design and the ordering process. That shows a level of, I know how to have an idea and I know how to make it happen. If your student, I mean, really think on this, because it doesn't necessarily have to be something that they did officially for a school activity. It could just be something that they did in their lives. But if it shows that they're a self-starter, they identified a problem, made something happen, I think colleges will love that.
So we've touched on school activities. You mentioned community service. Do personal activities play into this, like within my family, for example?
I absolutely think that you don't need to put what should be included into a box.
Okay.
They just want to know who you are and authentic things that you've been involved in. If you can find a really nice professional way to phrase them, I think the college would love to see that.
Well, the subtext to all of these examples we've shared is you're painting the picture of a well-rounded individual.
Yes. So being well-rounded doesn't mean you had to dabble in absolutely everything. It just means that there are different sides to you. And so even if you have enough accomplishments in one field, like maybe you were a competitive soccer player and you have enough accomplishments just there to fill a whole application, hold back a little bit and highlight something else about your character. I think colleges, that's attractive to them, to see that you have a variety of interests and that there will be a variety of ways that you'll make a difference in the world.
Really helpful, Amanda. For the moms watching and for the students who I know they will pass this information along to.
Good.
You work with students one-on-one. You also coach in groups. Where can we get more information about you?
So I do ACT prep, which 1 point on the ACT can matter as much as any of this, right? So you can find me at strategicactprep.com.
We'll link you over from the Studio 5 website, too, to make it easy. Thank you so much.
you.
Super helpful. I'm glad I don't have to apply. I'm glad that's done and over and behind me.